Welcome to BlockRoots. On behalf of my channel co-host Canner and Clark, we want to welcome you because this is the place where you can get Bitcoin and crypto market updates each and every week. So before you go out and enjoy the weekend with your friends and family, make sure you watch this quick update. And the day has come. The day has come. Today will be the day where we draw the $200 winner who commented on this week's video as we hit over 10,000 subscribers here on the channel. So thank you, each and every one of you who have subscribed and who support our channel. It really means a lot. And so there's a lot of great content on the way for you guys. And so we'll draw the winner in the middle of the video. So you don't want to miss that. Make sure you continue to watching. And by the way, if you want to have the opportunity to win $100 of Bitcoin each and every week, the only thing that you have to do is subscribe here on the channel. It's super easy. Just hit the red button below for notifications and leave a comment on the channel. We want to hear from you. We read each and every comment. We may not always reply, but know that we love to look through the comments. And we had over 300 comments on this week's video. So make sure that you leave a comment and we'll put you in as far as the drawing goes for $100 of Bitcoin each and every week. And we also plan to give away more Bitcoin just for other reasons as well too. So again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Would love to have you a part of the community. And don't forget to click the like button as well. If you enjoy the content, of course, would love to have you click the like button, because when you click the like button, more people on YouTube actually who are interested in Bitcoin and crypto will actually see our videos. So again, we really appreciate it. It's only because of you that we have success on the channel. So let's go ahead and get a quick update about Bitcoin. I've got my chart out here. Also, a quick note, we'll look at Chainlink as well. I know some of you are fans of Chainlink. And I want to talk specifically about a trade that I have put in this past week and why you don't want to move your stop loss on a trade. But this is a good learning opportunity, and I want to take this as a means to show you why you don't want to move that. So let's go ahead. We'll get started. Nothing is financial advice. And so here on the Bitcoin chart, this is the daily chart for Bitcoin. I want to point out a couple of things. Now, I did say up at this top area right here around 9,800, I said on crypto Twitter, that you need to expect the volatility is building up, so contraction before expansion as far as price goes, meaning that there's going to be a big move coming, $1,000 move, and that did happen to the downside. Now, I didn't say whether it's going to be up or down because nobody knows 100% as far as what's going to happen to the market, okay? Now, if we all did, we'd all be billionaires, and that would be that. So, but if anybody does tell you they know every move of the market, you know, they're very likely not being honest, and you should probably run away as quick as possible and not listen to those people. So in hindsight, everybody's a great trader, right? But with that said, it did move $1,000 down from around 9,800 down to 8,800, and it has since bounced and over 9,000 again. Now, if we zoom out on the weekly chart, this is something that we want to do, always higher time frames are something we want to keep an eye on. You're going to notice that these gray boxes, of course, this is primarily on the daily chart, but I'm going to leave them here too as well and show you that the weekly candle, though it's black or red, I use black candles as meaning downside, it's sitting right at support at the moment above 91.60. And so if the weekly closes on Sunday at or above this area, that's actually a good thing that shows that Bitcoin is holding this area support. And as you saw 2 weeks ago, we had a red candle or black candle here, meaning to the downside, but then the next week, Bitcoin just rocketed up, right? So could this be to where Bitcoin holds this area and rockets up to over 10,300 to the next area of resistance? That could be possibly so. So keep an eye on the weekly close. That is in a couple of days. One thing that a lot of bulls are probably pointing out right now is if we take a trend line and go from the top, the high from last year, 13,000, make our way down to this next area and to this next area, right? The trend line goes right down from 13,000 all the way down to now. You're going to notice that this is confluence also too, that price has broke above the trend line, is now retesting this area. And many times with the retest of a trend line, price can typically shoot on up unless this is a fake out. Now, the issue with trend lines though is that what I always say is trend lines are meant to be broken. And so I don't really put a lot of faith in trend lines, especially on the Bitcoin chart, which is very illiquid. And I've talked about that many times. Big market participants can certainly paint certain things on a chart, at least the Bitcoin chart. And so I like to follow horizontals a lot more, but this is showing confluence as far as holding here on this trend line as well as the horizontal support. Now, the thing about trend lines, as I just said, let me go ahead and take this off and we'll look at the daily chart and I'll show you what I mean is that trend lines are highly subjective, okay? If I take the trend line from down at the previous, so this is the daily chart, and I move it up, and if I want to leave it here to where it's at the bottom, it's at the bottom of the middle of this trend right here. But then what it shows is that price broke below. And then as far as the daily chart, right, price is now stuck underneath this trend with the wick above it, showing that this could be a possible trend reversal on the way down. And so if I do that with the trend line, then it shows that this is bearish for Bitcoin, right? It's something that most people don't want to hear. But if I say, look, I think I'm going to just take the wicks. I'm going to ignore this middle area. I'm going to pull this down to these wicks right here. And then what you notice is that, oh, that fits my bias because I want to be bullish. And with that said, price is still above this trend line and this trend is still to the upside. And so I know many of you use trend lines, but I do want to encourage you to make sure that you're using confluence with other things, other horizontals, other analysis when using trend lines. Because again, trend lines are meant to be broken. They're highly subjective. And as I showed you right here, depending on where you put it at, Bitcoin is either about to reverse to the downside, or retest and reverse down, or it's holding the trend line. And so either way, typically if you want to follow a trend, a better indicator that you can use is a moving average, right? So those lower moving averages, the 10-day, 20 period moving average, those types of things. So just pay attention and maybe teach yourself a little bit more about moving averages if you want to follow trend and if you're a trend trader. With that said, if Bitcoin does close below 9160, this area on the daily, as we've got about an hour and a half left for the daily close, at least at the moment. But if it does close below here, that's not necessarily really bearish, but that would be a close below support. And then I would expect probably an eventual move back down here to the 8500 area. Now, if you take the fixed range volume profile, the value area range, the value area high is around 9600, where the value area is the dark right here. It's really hard to see, I know, on this video. And this tends to be support resistance as well. And then the value area low is down here, actually at the bottom of the support, this area. So around 8500 and around 9600. These are really having confluence with these support, these horizontals. So what I'm saying here is I can potentially see price move up to this value area high, actually test that, possibly reject off that, and continue on down, okay? So if it does reject, if price continues to move on up to this area around 9600 and rejects off that, that would actually be confirmation for a lower high, meaning that we had a high around 10,000, then we had this next high, not even at 10,000, and then, of course, this would be another lower high whenever that happens. And then, of course, that would be somewhat of a possible trend reversal as we have lower highs going down. So the range, as far as this range, the point of control is 8,800. And so, again, point of control, support resistance, that's the price where the most volume was traded. We do also see that this black line, this point of control, acted as resistance earlier. So if price does break below this and holds here, you know, on the 4-hour, even better on the daily, then I would expect definitely a move back down to the 8,500s, this area. And then from there, any break and close below 8,500 is going to lead us back down to the 7,800 area, right? This area right here that we talked about. So just be aware of that. Those are the same areas that we're watching as far as Bitcoin. So the question is this a trend reversal to the downside? Is it coming? And well, it's yet to be seen, but we do know if there is a rejection up here in this area, okay, around the 8,600s, then that's, yeah, definitely going to likely be a lower high, and it's going to tell me, possible good place to short as far as that goes, and we could have a trend reversal, especially if it continues to move on down and break this area. Don't want to really look past 7,800. I mean, I do believe that price can continue to go on down to lower 7,000s. But before we look at that, we want to take this level first because I do believe that it's going to bounce on the way down, okay? But on the bull side, if it does come back up here, retest this area around 95, 9,600 and continue to move on up, if it closes here, I would like to see at least on the 4 hour, especially the daily, would be great. Then that's going to be bullish, and that's going to tell me that likely we would continue to move on up and retest this area around 10,300 or the previous high just over 10,000. So those are the areas to continue to watch. Now, before we talk about Chainlink, I do want to talk about Chainlink here in the moment. Let's go ahead and give away $200 in Bitcoin. And also remember, if you haven't yet, check out Phemex.trade. Regardless if you're a trader or if you're a holder, if you like to buy spot, Bitcoin, Chainlink, and some of these other altcoins, right now you can actually trade, buy spot and sell spot, Bitcoin, Chainlink, Ethereum, I believe XRP, for 0 fees. Okay, again, 0 fees. You can do it actually for $7 a month if you sign up annually at Phemex.trade, and that's going to save you hundreds of dollars. And so, as always, they are our partner. They're a fantastic exchange. This is our preferred margin trading website. So not only can you trade spot, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, but you can also leverage trade here as well when it comes to different assets such as Bitcoin, Link, and other altcoins. Now, once you sign up at Phemex.trade, just know that you can try it out for 7 days for free. So don't forget that once you sign up, if you use our link, you can actually spot trade 7 days for free. If you don't like it, just stop spot trading before the 7 days is over, and you won't be charged anything at all. And again, the charge is $10 a month, or if you sign up annually, it's less than $7 a month, which is a great deal regardless because you save hundreds of dollars in fees. So check out Phemex.trade. Let's go ahead. What you've been waiting for to give away $200 in Bitcoin right now. I'm going to go ahead and select the winner, and the winner of $200 of Bitcoin this week that would be, is it Gopal Yoram? Leverage trading is very high risk. Use a stop loss when you trade. Advise for a beginner. Well, I'll tell you what, this is timely. I'm actually about to talk about stop losses and how they're very important. Yes, whether you margin trade, whether you spot trade, you want to use a stop loss. I think that's a very, very brilliant comment. I think your name's Gopal. And again, I don't want to mispronounce it, but just know that you want $200 in Bitcoin. I'm going to go ahead and respond to this and make sure that you see that, Gopal. And I'm going to make sure that to get your Bitcoin address so we can send you out $200 in Bitcoin. Now, speaking of, Gopal had a great response there. Now, speaking of stop loss, okay, I want to go ahead and take a look at this chart that I put up. It was around a week or so, this past week, and where I talked about the higher lows, the trend on Link, and how I thought that, hey, this is going to continue on up, and that's a good sign. And what I said is, look, this is a long-term support area. I'm going to go ahead and move this black line. And I said that I believe that price is going to move up, likely retest down, as you see on this line right here, and then continue to move on up until my target area around the 456, 450 area. And so what I'm doing is showing you a trade setup where I basically had my entry area where I want to target potentially if it continues to move up, and where my stop loss is located around 367. So in this case, what I want you to know is that many people ask, should I move my stop loss up if I were to move this up, right, to break even? And so what I tell people is no, don't do that. Cantor and Clark will tell you the same thing. Don't move your stop loss up, because the clear thing about this is if I would have moved my stop loss up, this trade actually needed some room. It came back down, not only at support, but it came back down and then pushed back up. So basically, if I would have moved my stop loss up, I would have been stopped out. I would have lost money. And not only that, I would no longer be in profit, and the profit that I'm in right now. So again, the thing about trading is that you need to have a thesis. And basically what that means, and it doesn't have to be complex, is that whenever you set up a trade, you want an entry point, you want a target, and you want a stop loss, and you want to stick to it, okay? That's because, again, as I just said a minute ago, trades need room to breathe. It's going to come back possibly to your stop loss. You put it in a good spot. And again, you risk no more than, typically people 1 to 3% of your capital there, depending on who you are. Most people are 1%, some 2%, some will risk up as high as 3 or more percent. But be smart, set your stop loss, and then allow that trade to take place. And again, if you move that up, you're very likely price might come back to retest that area, knock you out, you lose some money, and then it takes off again. And then that's that. So 9 out of 10 times, I'll tell you right now that you'll probably be happy. I know that I am, that I stick with my plan when it comes to my trading setup. Okay, and so this is just a clear example of why, again, price can flow back and forth around a support area where your entry is. But if you're convinced that price is going to move up or move down, if you're shorting, of course, stick to the plan and have your trading set up. And honestly, don't move your stop loss up. So stop losses are very important, as said by Gopal earlier. Thanks again. And so with that said, if you do want to learn more about trading, if you're interested in learning about trading, if you want to view hundreds of hours of videos that we've put up over time, you can check out BlockRoots.com. I'll go ahead and show you the website. This is the website, BlockRoots.com. The only thing to get started is click Get Started Today, and then you can walk through the process as far as joining, whether you do it monthly or annually. We're not going to hold you hostage, right? So if you want to join monthly to see if you like it, you're totally free to cancel anytime. Now, as far as the inside, this is the inside of BlockRoots.com, and so you click on a lesson, you're going to notice that there is a ton of videos to walk through, regardless if you're somebody who knows nothing about trading, or maybe you have a little bit of a trading background and you want to get into more advanced stuff. And so we have a lot of more advanced stuff down here with order flow, market profile series. You're going to notice a lot of good stuff, okay, with charts, with videos. And so it's highly affordable. Again, tons of videos. We've had a lot of positive feedback. We have a little community section as well. It's jam-packed with educational content. So we'd love to have you a part of the community. Check it out if you're interested. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But with that said, again, if you're interested in being a part of the community, if you're interested in winning $100 in Bitcoin, the only thing that you have to do is click subscribe below. Go ahead and comment, engage on this video. Each and every week we give out $100 of Bitcoin. So we'd love to have you be a part of the community as we continue to grow over 10,000 subscribers here on the channel. Continue to watch the Bitcoin chart as we move into the weekly close on Sunday. So will Bitcoin close continue to stay below 9,500, 9,600? That would likely be a trend reversal, lower high. We'll have to wait and see about that. But as far as that goes, you guys go ahead, have a great weekend, enjoy time with your friends and family. Hopefully you can get outside. Hopefully it's nice weather. And as always, trade effectively, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.